Welcome to week 7 of our series, Good News. We're almost done with this 8-week study, and guess what? There's still good news. Jesus is King, and we're doing our best to continuously walk in His direction. If you've been on this entire journey with us, you've likely heard us talk about our faces and places, the faces that we see in the places that we go. Another word we might use to describe these people is by calling them our edges. Who are the people that are far from God, but in your life? All of those people are in our lives for a very specific purpose. And as we walk in Jesus' direction, we are continuously invited to make intentional effort with them. Who is part of your edges? Who are your faces and places? Bring specific names of people to mind. Picture their faces. One helpful way to think of who these specific people are is by mapping our edges. So I've mapped some of my edges as an example. So start with someone you know, and then walk through all of the people you know because of that person. For example, a neighbor. Who else is in their family? Who else are they connected to? Or maybe someone you know because of a hobby that you're part of. Who else do you know because of that person? Or maybe it's your barista that you see every day. Draw them out just like this and think long and hard about these connections. It's incredible to see all of the different people that God has placed around us. The next step, pray like crazy. Pray for these specific people by name. One way to do it is by taking a different network of people and praying for them on a specific day of the week. So you might pray for your neighbors on Mondays and Wednesdays, or the people you're trying to build relationships with from the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays. There are tons of creative ways to do this, but what matters most is that we continuously pray for these people, and that we keep asking God to create opportunities for us to engage with and share stories with them. So before you start today's study, make sure to take a few minutes to call to mind your edges, your faces and places. Maybe you even want to spend a few minutes as a group mapping your edges before you start. If you don't do it now, make time to do that this next week. Pray for your edges and the edges of people in your group. God will honor our prayers and stir our hearts for people that don't know Him as we lift our people up to Him. And finally, at the end of today's study, as you think about who you're going to share the story with, bring back to mind your edges and start there. Make it your goal to share this week's story with someone on your edges map. I'm praying that God creates opportunities as you go through your week to share, even if it feels risky. As we near the end of this study, we don't want all that we're learning and experiencing here to stop. Coming to one of our weekly coaching gatherings can help you figure out the best next step for you and your people. Please make every effort to attend one of these. You can go to canyonridge.org/groups to find everything you need to know about these gatherings. Since we're all about good news, the good news is that God loves your faces and places, and we can trust Him to do amazing things in and through us as we are brave in our encounters with those people. We are rooting for you. Have a great time with this week's study.